Retirees say retire as soon as you can. I could not agree more. We're going to read this article. It's a few years old, but it's still just as important now. Retire early if you can afford it. You're the healthiest, most active you're going to be and can still enjoy life. That's the message from a survey of recent retirees conducted by New York Life Insurance, which found 46% of retired men and women would do it, report if they could do it over, they would have retired an average of 4 years earlier. It's crazy. 46% said they would have retired 4 years earlier. But this comes with an important condition. They would have retired earlier only if they could achieve the same level of financial security that they realize when they actually retire. So that's an important caveat, as they say. Postponing retirement often results in significant increases to your retirement income from Social Security pensions not drawn down from your 401ks and whatnot. Chances are good that those retirees wouldn't have had the same level of financial security they currently enjoy if they retired 4 years earlier. I think that's a good point. So those retirees are saying, if I had the same level of income, I would have retired 4 years earlier, basically half the population. But what does that mean? Does that mean if they didn't have the same level of income, say off by 10%, they would not have? I guarantee they would not have said, well, I was spending $100,000. Now I'm only going to spend $90,000, so I would have worked at my crappy old job another 4 years to spend an extra $10,000. I guarantee that's not the case. Isn't that interesting, though? I'm telling you, the ages 55 through 70, man, you're never going to be in this fit shape again. You're not. Again, that doesn't mean there are tons of people who are not health nuts. I get it, 100%. But as you're 70, 71, 78, 82, you're just not in the same capacity. I mean, some people are, but the vast majority of us are not. Just, can we stop? Don't put words in my mouth saying, oh, you people 75 don't have a healthy lifestyle. No, I'm just saying 55 to 70 is probably that's it right there. You're probably not going to do as much when you're 75 as you were when you're 65. I'm just telling you. And I think we could all agree with that. If you're 35, I'm not talking. I'm just not. This isn't for you. So you're going to get these years, you're like, well, I'm going to wait till I'm 67. And then you're like, but how are you going to be in shape? What are you going to do then? I mean, what are you going to do? And look, you can I got people all the time I talk to are doing great. But what if you could retire at 62 and enjoy those 5 years before 67 when your full retirement age is or something like that? All right, so let's keep reading this. This is a good article, man. Let's see. All right. So if you're trying to decide when you should retire, it's important to pay attention to these things. Many retirees report that they're glad they retired and enjoy their freedom from the work grind. This runs counter to the fact that report the desire to delay their retirement even if they don't need the money. Yeah, they don't. That's they're saying we're going to delay retirement even if we don't need the money. Very few people say I don't need the money, so they're all saying they're going to delay retiring because they think they need the money. This apparent contradiction illustrates the fact that each of us has different aspirations and feelings about our work. A reader expressed this thought succinctly in a comment to a recent post. I hated my job and I retired as soon as I could, and that meant starting Social Security at 62. If you hate your work, then retire if you can afford it. That's 100%. If you love your work, well, keep working. I agree. However, the choices aren't always black and white between I hate my job and I love my job. A lot of people are just tolerating it. To pay the bills. As the years go by, the daily grind, the boredom, the office politics, which are getting worse and worse and worse, difficult co-workers and bosses, I would say the commute, all it takes is toll and exerts a greater influence on the desire to retire. Desire to retire. That's a good name for an album. I should make a music album with Desire to Retire. Another common situation that many people would retire tomorrow if they had the financial resources, but they don't, or at least they don't think they do. That's another important caveat of the New York Life study, which surveyed recent retirees who had at least $100,000 in assets. Presumably, they had the financial resources to retire, so their situation might be different from the general population. Yeah, I wonder if a lot of these people don't think they don't really truly. I bet a lot of people are saying, I don't think I have the financial resources. Why? Because Susie Orman says. If you don't have the resources to retire, but don't want to keep slogging away at your crap old job right now, there's something's got to give. Here's one possibility: figure out how to make your current work more enjoyable. Try working fewer hours, making your commute easier by working remotely. Asking to change your job requirements to do more things you like and fewer the things you don't. Move laterally to a new job that provides an opportunity to try new things or work with new people. Asking if you can add a few unpaid days to your vacation and give yourself a mini sabbatical. Develop a greater appreciation for your current job by counting up all the good aspects of it. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing in basic sales 101. You take a thing, you say, okay, what are all the good things that are going to come by making a sales call? It's a wonderful, it's a wonderful strategy to kind of kick you in the butt and say, instead of saying, oh, they're going to tell me no, or else it's embarrassing, say, what are the good things that are going to come? And that's something you can do too. What's good about your current job? I had a guy a long time ago, one of my first, probably the first 2 months I was taking clients. I'll never forget. He was up in Cleveland, and I can't remember his name. I don't know if he still follows the channel or not. But I'll never forget. It's like, dude, go work. He was having a long commute. Screw it. It was a long commute, and he was just miserable. He wasn't in good shape. I said, look, you might not be able to afford to retire now because he was, I think, 62, but why don't you go take a job closer to where you live? You might not pay as much, but his biggest concern was health care. I said, so you just go work, $15 an hour, whatever the firm was, get health care. And he was fine, did that. I said, get rid of the commute, get rid of the stress or crappy old job, just some small company. They're not going to give you SJW crap. And I hope he did. I haven't spoken to him, but that was a good thing, man. I said, and I don't know, he never reported back to me, but I hope he did, because probably saved his life, frankly, because he was not in a good place physically, that's for sure. Anyway, remember, if you can retire, you should, if you hate your crap old job. If you get enjoyment out of it, then you should stay working. But if you're not getting enjoyment out of it and you have the financial resources to retire, because you actually ran some numbers, you probably ought to, because you're never going to be in this time again, ever, where you have this much energy, this much you're never going to be this fit, most likely. You don't want to lose it working some crap old job. All right, we'll see you.